How you doing?
Good.
Did you miss us?
Can't say that I did.
A little?
Maybe a little.
Sorry, you don't have a lot of us still, right? So what'd you do between Super Bowl and now? Anything fun?
Just, I mean, obviously a couple trips. You know, went to Florida, did all that stuff for a couple days, but for me, mostly just stayed at the house, trained, relaxed, enjoyed it.
Is there a process that you know, when you have a loss like y'all did, is there something that you want to do and you're kind of intentional about kind of trying to either process it or put it behind you? What's that like as you go through the offseason?
You know, I treated it like any other loss. You know, I went through that week, watched the film, you know, saw where I could get better, saw the things that we did well, and then I moved on. I put it behind me. We're in the 2022 season.
Is there a moment that really stood out to you that it really hit you?
What
happened in the game?
No, I mean, obviously, losing the Super Bowl is not fun. It's not something that we wanted to do, but you know, I've put it behind me at this point, and we're moving on.
You haven't gotten a chance to talk to you about the new offensive lineman. You have. Apparently, you played a pretty big role in them all landing here. Can you just tell us how excited you are about the additions you guys made up front?
Yeah, I mean, they've been great so far, really taking ownership of what they need to do to understand the offense, coming out here and giving everything they have during, you know, the little OTAs that were, or whatever you want to call them, individual periods that we're having. And, you know, they've been great in the weight room, great in the locker room. They've been exactly what we've wanted.
LC mentioned that during his trip in, you had him over to the house and cupcakes and crackers were served. There was some speculation on what exactly did that entail?
You know, we just had some snacks.
What kind of crackers were they?
I guess I don't remember. You know, that was a while ago, but we definitely made sure that they had some snacks to eat.
What was that like for you having I mean, that being a part of that, and I don't know, recruitment is the right word, but having them over, and what did that mean for you to be able to be a part of that?
Yeah, that's something that, you know, I want to do every year, make sure that the guys that we're looking to bring in feel at home in Cincinnati and with the team, because that's the culture that we're building in the locker room. We're really, really close as a team, coaching staff, players, strength staff, trainers, and so I just want to kind of portray that to the guys that are thinking about coming here and that we want to sign.
Joe, one of the cliches in football in the NFL is each time at this year you're starting from scratch. Even if you went to a Super Bowl last year, you're starting at ground zero. Do you feel that way as a quarterback?
You know, going into the season, everyone's starting from scratch, but we've also worked really hard to build this culture that we've built the last couple of years that has enabled us to have the success that we did last year. And so, I mean, technically yes, but you know, as far as the grinding and the work that we put in to build the culture, you know, we're looking to carry that momentum from last year into this year.
How would you describe the foundation you personally have built as a leader?
You know, it's not just me. It's, you know, all the leaders of the team, the coaching staff, Zach. You know, I think what I try to do as a leader is listen really hard to what Zach has to say to the team, and you know, then take my spin of it and try to. I think that's the quarterback's job, is to portray the message that the head coach is bringing down and trickle it amongst the locker room.
It's a very different off-season this year. How do you feel? All the bumps and bruises healed? Are you 100%?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. You know, obviously, this is my first off-season in the NFL, so I've, you know, been able to take advantage of that with as far as my body and my throwing and my mind and all that. It's been, you know, obviously I've been grinding, but it's also been relaxing, not have to worry about am I going to be ready for the season. I can just focus on, you know, getting my body right, making sure I'm healthy, and then relaxing.
Last offseason, it was rehab, and it was the deep ball. What's your main thing you're focused on improving this offseason?
And really, it's just my entire game at this point. You know, I'm tweaking little things here and there, and you know, at this point, I'm not going to have a big overhaul of anything that I'm doing. I'm just looking to refine, you know, my entire game as a whole.
Is practicing without a knee brace significant?
Yeah, it's fun. I don't really like wearing that thing, so it's good to have that off.
You think you'll play with one, or is that a thing of the past?
To be determined. Maybe I don't anticipate wearing it, but maybe you get to game day and feel a little more comfortable having it on. So we'll see.
Do you anticipate big changes to the offense? Do you anticipate just tweaks to things that went well? And is it too early to start that process? If you guys already started that process?
I think we're going to completely overhaul the offense. We're going to maybe run the wing tee a little bit this year. Maybe our division can start watching some Georgia Tech or something.
With the offensive line, though, do you think there'll be different areas of the field you'll be able to attack differently with improvements up front?
Yeah, we'll see going into camp. It's early to tell. I'm going into it expecting that we can kind of open it up a little bit and maybe throw some things in that we weren't able to do last year and the year before. But we'll see. We have a really good core group of plays that we know really well and that we're good at, so we're not going to abandon that.
Joe, after the first playoff win last year, you said we're not going to celebrate just one. That's not the standard here. How much do you feel like, I know it's a new season, but you talk about the momentum, culture building. How much do you feel like you guys have raised the standard here just with what you did last year? And that can carry over, right, I would assume?
I would say we raised the standard in the eyes of you guys and the fans, but our standard has never changed. And coming in here year one, I expected to win every game. And that's how I go into every single game thinking, I'm not going to accept losing.
Just being the defending AFC champs, what was it like seeing a lot of teams in the conference and get markedly better rosters? A lot of people, what was it like watching that throughout the offseason?
Yeah, that's every year. Every team is going to try to improve. Our job is to improve ourselves, get better each day, and stay on top.
Is there a difference in maybe now that you're having a target on your back the entire year? How do you expect that to maybe be different in the way teams approach you? And how do you prepare for that throughout the offseason?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not, I think towards the end of last year we started getting a lot of respect for our playmakers. Teams, completely changing the way that they played us. And so I think that'll just be more of the same going forward for the next 5-10 years, however long we have those guys on the outside, hopefully my entire career. So, we'll see.
You were no stranger to primetime games your final year at LSU. To see you guys have 5 this year, what were your thoughts on the schedule coming out?
I'll play anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter to me. We'll play at 9 a.m., 10 p.m., doesn't matter.
A couple of your new offensive linemen won Super Bowls with Brady. Will you pick their brains about him? Have you picked their brains about him?
I haven't. I'm, I try to take things here and there from different people, but I'm, really focused on refining my routine and everything that I do to be the best me. And I don't think I could take something that makes Tom Brady great that might not make Joe Burrow great. And so maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I listen and study all of these things, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I try a lot of different things, but going down the stretch to the season, you talk and think about all the things that you worked on in the off season. You throw some out because you think, I don't have time to really refine this to get it ready to go by the season. And so some things will stick and some things won't.
At what point in the offseason do you, before any year, do you kind of look at, okay, these are the personal goals I want to hit? And when do you set that, when you do that closer season, do you do it now? How's that process work for you?
Really, that's a good question. I don't really sit down and think about goals like that. I don't sit down and write them down, but, I have them in the back of my head about, what I want to achieve as a team. I don't really have any personal goals. All of my goals personally are try to help the team win. So, whatever that calls for.
A lot of quarterbacks in the NFL sometimes take their skill groups or their offense on a trip somewhere to get extra work in or just team bonding. Are you planning on doing that with the offense at all this offseason?
Sure, we'll do that eventually. We didn't do it before OTAs. We had the longest season in NFL history with that extra game. So, we had a good 2-month break and we're back at it, and then, we'll get together after sometime in July before camp.
Obviously, it was a long season. You dealt with multiple little nicks and injuries and things. Have you had time to reflect on the 2021 year and how hard it was throughout the...
Yeah, you reflect on it and, see the things that you did well and see the things that you need to improve. But, we finished strong. The beginning of the season, we need to start stronger this year. As an offense, we kind of, just skidded in that beginning part. We weren't doing the things that we quite needed to do to win all those games that we expected to win. And so going into this year, I just expect to be a more refined, more technical offense that, really maintains your explosiveness and efficiency throughout the entire year.
After the Super Bowl show, at what point, how much time did you have to have before you felt totally unencumbered with any kind of nagging injury? Were you able to really attack your off-season conditioning? And now that you've been able to do it, do you feel like it was as good as you've ever felt?
Yeah, it was. I gave myself about a week to recover. I didn't do much for about a week, and then I was back at it. I'm not the kind of guy that wants to take a month off and sit on the couch and watch TV and get fat and all that. I'm happier when I'm working out, and that's what I do for fun. So, we got right back at it.
What gives you all the biggest confidence, or you specifically the biggest confidence that you guys can go back and repeat as the biggest champions?
We have the experience now. Going into it last year, we knew we were good, but I think going into the playoffs, we knew we could win, but we weren't really sure what it took. We just kind of went out there and played really hard and together as a team, and it worked out. Now we know what it takes. We have that experience in our back pockets going forward.
Have you watched the Super Bowl? And if so, how long did it take you to watch it?
Yeah, I watched it the next day. Like I said, I just treated it like any other game week that week after, apart from, I guess I did get a couple lifts in that week, but nothing crazy. I watched it the day after and saw the things I need to improve and things we did well, and moved on.
Not to open up wounds, but the last play of the Super Bowl, there's a shot of Jamar running and Ramsey on the ground. Is that the stuff that sits with you? Did you see that, and your thoughts on maybe that play?
Yeah, I checked that go route. I was anticipating throwing it, just didn't quite have the time. So, like I said, we put this behind us. We lost. We had a great year. We're going forward.
How was winning the national championship helped you deal with not winning a Super Bowl? Is there anything that you take from one real positive experience to help you through the one that wasn't as positive?
Yeah, we, like I said before the Super Bowl, when you guys always ask me about playing in these big games, I played in a state championship, played tons of big games in college, and at the time, those are the biggest games of your life, just like the Super Bowl was. And I've lost a bunch of those games before, and so I know how to handle losing and how to come back stronger.
When we last talked to you after the game, you mentioned wanting to celebrate the year despite the loss. Do you feel like you were able to do that, and the team was able to do that?
Yeah, obviously we were disappointed after the game and heartbroken, but we still had a good time that night. We still got together and had camaraderie and all that. We had a little fun, so I think we were able to celebrate what we did, and at the same time upset about what we didn't do.
I think Cuddy said that you were you the one who put together the playlist? Did you go through and say?
Yeah, it's a pretty good playlist.
Yeah, what did you open with and what did you close with? I think that's a remarkable playlist here.
I think we closed with Soundtrack to My Life. I think we opened with Mojo So Dope. Yeah, two good ones.
Joe, you've said before that the mental aspect of this game is just as important to you as the physical aspect. Have you had enough time mentally to recharge and regroup and come on to this season ready to go?
Yeah, I was excited to get back at it. 2 months is just about all I need to take a break, take a step back, forget about football, and then we're back at it. I'm excited to be back. Tons of new faces in there. Excited about everyone that's come in here has really added to the culture of the locker room, so I'm excited about all those guys in there.
I know you're not a big social media guy and probably not on Twitter as much as all of us, so how do you find out the news of if you guys sign someone? Do you get direct text messages from Zach Taylor, or do you see it on Twitter?
So I re-downloaded Twitter for free agency, so I can stay up to date, because I don't know how else to see all that news, like you said. So I'm pretty behind on a lot of things because I'm not on there much.
What are you looking forward to doing? Just not even football related, but what are you looking forward to doing the most this offseason?
All the non-football stuff has kind of been done and over with. I went to UFC event, played some golf every now and then. Now we're leading up to OTAs, and then you got about 6 weeks until training camp once this phase is over. So I'm locked down, ready to go.
You get back to Athens?
Yeah, I go back there every now and then.
Speaking of your golf game, the picture of you with Devin Booker kind of went viral. Obviously, the Suns aren't still in it, but are you an NBA fan? Are you watching the finals come?
Yeah,
Who's your team?
It used to be. It's still the Cavs. I'm still a big Cavs fan. They didn't, unfortunately, they didn't make the playoffs, so I started rooting for the Suns.
I think you got somebody I think on our network said Luka had a little bit of you in you. Would you agree? What do you make of the Luka comparisons to you?
Yeah, I think, or whenever they played 2 days ago, yesterday, someone was talking a little stuff to him on the side or on court side, and he, I mean, he was laughing in his face every time he hit a three. I thought that was pretty cool.
Everyone good?
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.